Authority without accountability is a perfect breeding ground for deception. It always been that way. Because the moment power is given without being questioned, without being challenged, without being held responsible, it starts serving the people and starts serving itself. And that's where the real danger begins. Not in loud oppression, but in a quiet acceptance. Because the greatest threat to progress is not ignorance alone, you dig. It is unquestioning obedience. The kind where people don't ask why. The kind where instructions were followed simply because they came from a position of power. The kind where authority is mistaken for truth. But here's the reality that most people avoid. Authority does not equal accuracy. Okay, let's get that out the way. Position does not guarantee truth. And his story, if we're being honest, has shown this over and over and over again. So when authority speaks, it's not your duty to accept blindly. You dig? It's your responsibility to critically listen, to ask questions, to seek clarity, to challenge assumptions. Not out of rebellion, but out of awareness, out of critical thinking. Because the line between leadership and manipulation is often thinner than it appears. A true leader welcomes questions. A manipulator avoids them. A true leader encourages understanding. A manipulator demands compliance. So the difference becomes crystal clear. Not in what is said, but in how questioning is received. And this is where many people lose their voice. They hesitate. They stay silent. They conform. Not because they don't think, but because they're afraid to think out loud. Afraid to challenge the stories, the narratives. Afraid to stand alone. Afraid of being labeled for simply asking questions. But understand this. Silence protects control. Questions expose it. If a society cannot question authority, then that society becomes easy to shape, easy to direct, easy to manipulate. Because once people stop thinking critically, they start accepting passively. And that's how truth get compromised. Not because it disappeared, but because fewer people were willing to look for it. Because the truth is rarely hidden behind walls. Oftentimes it's in plain sight. More often, it's in plain sight, waiting for those to go beyond the surface, to look deeper, to connect patterns, to question what doesn't sit right. So don't surrender your mind to titles, positions, or loud voices. It is the very thing that protects truth. Your voice matters, people. Not because it's always right, but because it is willing to seek what is right. So use it. Challenge what needs to be challenged. Examine what needs to be examined. Refuse to accept anything just because it came from authority. Because at the end of the day, truth does not fear scrutiny. You dig? Only deception does. Only deception does. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. A lot of you voted for him. Continue to unlearn, relearn, and learn. Continue to evolve. Peace.